Cooking with Fiona.
And let it go. So voila, one pot French onion soup. Good morning, welcome back to Cooking with Fiona, episode 2. As you all know, I am a real estate agent and I have been for 35 years. Not only do I have a passion for selling real estate, but I have a passion for cooking. So every month I'm going to be cooking you a recipe. And this month it's called One Pot French Onion Soup. French onion soup is delicious. And in France, I understand from a good friend that there's always a pot of French onion soup on the table. So you basically melt 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of butter, and then you slice very thinly. That's the key to sweet onion soup, is you thinly slice 3 pounds of the onions, and you put that in the melted butter, and you cover it and you cook it for 15 minutes with the lid on. And then you add a teaspoon of sugar, lots of salt, or half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper or more to taste, and you cook that on the stove in your Dutch crock pot or whatever pot that you can put on the stove as well as in the oven. So you cook that for at least an hour with the lid off, and you end up with something that looks like this. So this is basically the thinly sliced onion that is cooked, and it now has garlic in it, which is coming up with 2 cloves of garlic, freshly minced, and a 1/4 cup of wine. So that's where we are with this right now. And the next step is to put some rosemary, which is all fresh from my garden, and I put bay leaves in there, a couple bay leaves, and fresh, I don't have any fresh thyme, but I'm gonna put at least the equivalent of 5 sprigs of fresh thyme. And it's pretty good actually. So you then put 8 cups of beef broth. And so this is 8 cups of beef broth that you put in, and you cook that for another 60 minutes. So you're preparing the broth and you don't have the lid on, and you just cook it for 60 more minutes. In the meantime, I'm heating up the oven to 400 degrees and get that nice and hot. So I'm just waiting for this to cook, and once it is cooked after an hour, then we put it in the oven for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'd like to discuss with you a listing, 2 listings I actually have in Paget. It's called Sunnyside Cottage. It's a 2-bed, 2-bathroom house with a 1-bedroom apartment. Sits on 0.31 of an acre, all residential one. And it's called Sunnyside Cottage because it's a very sunny and well-lit place. Does need some work, doesn't need some upgrading, but you are beautifully centrally located. That is on the market for $750. There is a lot of land as well that is being sold separately, and it's 0.26 of an acre. It's all zoned residential 1, and that's to the north of Sunnyside Cottage. If you want these recipes that I have, you can call me on my cell, 534-9932, or you can text me on my cell. Or if you'd rather email me, my email is fhatfield@brcl.bm. Look forward to hearing from you. So right now we're waiting for all of these delicious juices to come together. So I have bay leaves in there, I have fresh rosemary in there, I've got lots of garlic because garlic's really great for you. Good for you. Thinly sliced onions, the thinner the better. So as you see, the French onion soup is cooked now, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the toasted French baguette 1/2-inch slices floated on top and put it all over, cover it like, once this is done, then we're gonna put it in the oven for 5 minutes or until the cheese is actually melted. There we go. There. Done.
A few minutes later.
So it's 5 minutes and out of the oven it comes. And here we are. Made by yours truly, me, Fiona Hatfield. Hope you enjoy it. Try it, it's delicious. And this is a real French onion soup made by yours truly, Fiona Hatfield.